Hello guys, it's me and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, then welcome. Now, I'm just gonna be straightforward. I feel like I have a white face. I don't even feel, I freaking know, so I can see it in the mirror. This is sunscreen. I may have placed just a little bit too much, but only a little. And yeah, you know, so hope this doesn't distract you. If it does, then I'm sorry, just look away and listen to this as a podcast. But anyways, in this video, I am going to be talking about Candle Magick, why you would want to use Candle Magick, the types of candles. I'm gonna mention a little bit of color magic here and there. I'm also gonna talk about the types of wax, the elements, and how I view them corresponding to candles themselves, sigils, and a little bit more. So if you would like to learn about that, then continue on watching. First things first, as always, what is Candle Magick? So essentially, Candle Magick is a type of practice that involves the use of a candle for spiritual purposes. The reason why you would want to use candles in your own practice is because for the most part, not only are they easy to access and also very adaptable to your needs and preferences, but also I believe that it just like helps you get into that mindset. So I would like to say that it adds to like the bruja experience. Think about it like this. So you're in the dark, you know, like really dark. And like you have that one candle or multiple candles, like that just adds so much to what you're doing. And even if it's just one candle, you're like literally being so focused on that particular flame that is literally the only source of light in the bedroom or area that you're at, that you kind of forget of like anything else, and that just adds to your own experience with what you're doing. I believe that it also helps you focus and direct your intention and overall energy to that goal that you are trying to achieve. When it comes to like the type of candles that you would want to use, so there's so many, y'all. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna mention quite a bit, but like I'm gonna only talk about them like just a little bit. So when it comes to like the simple kinds of candles, we have the freestanding candles, which is basically like the, let me get them to give you like an example. We have like the pillar candles. So essentially pillar candles are this and anything in between. Smaller, big, they're basically just like pretty basic, but they're extremely usable. We also have the taper candles, which I do not own, but basically they are kind of like the pillar candle in the sense that they are freestanding, but they are like kind of thick at the bottom and then go like they get thinner the more upward it goes. They're pretty tall, maybe not like this I guess, but they're decently taller instead. Now we have the jar candles. So when it comes to jar candles, they I decided to include the votive candles, which are kind of the ones that you see more often in the churches. We also have the 7-day candles, which are basically this one right here. If you light them, they are supposed to be able to burn for around 7 days. So if you're going to be doing a work that you want to be able to work with it, you know, daily or nightly or whatever it is, 7-day candles is the way to go. I added 2 more in like the miscellaneous section. I added tea light candles and floating candles. So tea light candles are pretty much small. You know, they're good for transportation. They're good for when you're like in a pinch and you want to light something for like what, 1-2 hours, maybe even 3, I'm not sure. Floating candles essentially are candles that you're able to place in water and they basically float. I'm not really sure if tea light candles float in water. So anyways, I'll actually confirm once I get them. I'm supposed to go to IKEA very soon, but point is, yeah, so if you wanna, let's say, make a little offering of a bowl of water with maybe some herbs, with maybe some crystals or anything that you would like to add to it, and you would like to include a candle or a few candles to float on top of the water, you can do that as well. Now I added these next candles in the complex section because I thought that they were more obvious in terms of being more, I guess, witchy. So we have the figure candle. So essentially figure candles are literally just candles that have the shape and figure of a male or a female. So basically they can be either one separate being, so like one person, or they can be two people together, either holding their hands, embracing each other, making out, making love, whatever the case may be. Figure candles is just candles that include the figure of one, two people, I guess multiple even. Figure candles are really good to be used when it comes to anything relating to either body acceptance or self-love. Primarily because when it comes to figure candles, like the ones with the whole body, they tend to have like the slim body type, while compared to the ones that are headless, armless, legless, they tend to have like a more varied shape. So it can be like a fat body, or slim body with big breasts, or fat body with big breasts, or little breast. They're more diverse. So if you would like to like accept a certain body part that you have, you can work with that one particular figure candle that has the body type that you would like to work with. I also want to include the phallus and also the vulvic candles, so basically candles that resemble genitals. We also have the skull candles and also the cord cutting candles, which are basically candles that I couldn't find a name to, so I just decided to bless them with that name. And they're basically the two candles that are connected by one thread. I believe I first saw them in the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. By the way, you can I only mentioned a few. You can definitely use any other candles that I didn't mention. So for example, Bath and Body Works, like girly, like if you find a candle that has the scent of something that corresponds to your intention, don't be shy, like use it. The heck, experiment, try that out, see how that works, you know. When it comes to that type of wax, let me take a sip. So let me tell you something. Types of wax, girly. Okay, so paraffin, it's so hard to find. Like, it's not that it is hard, it's just it was, and I'm pretty sure it's going to continue being hard to find. Correspondences for paraffin, like what the hell, we've been using it forever, how long, and ain't nobody come up with any correspondence in the heck. Now personally, everybody, or at least the information that I was able to find relating to paraffin and correspondences, for the most part pretty neutral, so you can use whatever you want for whatever you want. But if you know you're into like science and I guess chemistry, you can make up your own correspondences based on the chemical compounds and how they pretty much affect not only us but also like the environment. Don't be shy, because I think that will help us for sure try to find a good list of correspondences to add to paraffin. Like I said, typically neutral. They're pretty much the candles, they're pretty much the wax that are within most candles that we buy, aside from the ones that are either soy and beeswax, which I'm going to talk about next. So soy in this case corresponds with abundance, growth, luck, and prosperity. Now, if I'm being honest, I'm not really sure as to why they're corresponding to luck. Prosperity, I guess I can kind of sort of like understand why, but when it comes to abundance and growth, the reason why I think soy connects with that is because of the soybean. So it is a bean seed, so you know it grows and it brings abundance. Now prosperity, I guess if you like sell it, or like you know you have a lot of it, the abundance will bring you prosperity. That's kind of like how I'm sort of connecting prosperity with the soy bean soy. But other than that, luck, I'm not really sure, but I found that and I was like, quite interesting. Maybe the fact that because it's giving you so much prosperity and abundance, therefore it connects with luck. Something to think about. But anyways, because typically they are colored white, the wax, you know, it can be associated also with peace, purity, and also protection. When it comes to the beeswax, however, well, not really hard, but you know, in this case, it corresponds to the, you know, sweetness, positivity. It attracts, and it's also sticky. So think about the fact that, you know, beeswax, so bees, you know, the honey. So pretty much that's kind of like how I connect the whole concept of like the beeswax being, you know, sweet. It attracts positivity. Think of the fact that there's a lot of spells that practice practice of honey jars, and if you leave honey anywhere, you're gonna attract ants, and you know, honey is very sticky, etc. Now, you know, because of the golden yellow, it can also be connected with money, abundance, and also prosperity, because that's what the color gold tends to like represent. Now, when it comes to the elemental correspondence of candles, personally, I believe that the candles are connected with every element, maybe even the element of spirit. So for example, I think that the candle, like the wax of the candle itself, to me it represents the earth. To me, I see like the melting of the wax as water, basically. Then we have, you know, obviously the fire, which is fire, and then we have, you know, the smoke that comes out of the burnt candle after it's been, you know, fully consumed, to symbolize the element of air. And then for spirit itself, you know, you can say that it would be the energy of the candle, like the essence itself, like the spirit of the candle. Or you can also argue that the intention that you are feeding it basically gives it life, and therefore it becomes spirit. Now, when it comes to colors, this is the most interesting part, because let me tell you something. It can vary from region, country, personal experience. I'm gonna make a whole separate video about this, but just like to give you like an idea. And also there are multiple colors that can have like the same correspondence, but not because they are meaning the same thing, but because they touch on that concept, but like in another area. So for example, when you're working with white candles, you know, white represents peace, purity, innocence. Black represents protection, secrets, banishments. Red represents love, lust, passion. It also multiple things, such as with every color. These are just like a few to give you an idea. But then we have blue, you know, that represents emotional healing. I was a little specific there. I maybe should have just said healing. But yeah, emotional healing, calmness, dreams. We have orange, which is success, joy, creativity. We also have yellow, which is knowledge, clarity, and communication. Now, let me tell you something. When it comes to blue and yellow, right? So yellow, communication. I would like to say that it's communication because yellow corresponds to like knowledge, and it's typically what's associated with like the brain, the thoughts, and all of that. Blue, however, it can also be associated with communication because of the fact that it's connected, like the color is connected with the throat chakra, which has to do with communication as well. Now, notice how in red I mentioned love, lust, passion. I could have also mentioned pink, which is also connected with love as well. It's connected with friendships and relationships in general. However, you can also say that green is not only associated with money, abundance, prosperity, whatever the heck, you know, you want to associate it with monetary symbolism, but it can also represent love because of the heart chakra. So it really just depends on like, did I literally just give you the whole video? But it basically depends on like so many factors, such as the ones that I mentioned before, such as like where you're from, personal experience, etc. Also, we are only counting like the positive aspects instead of also counting like, I guess, the, I don't want to say dark side or like the baneful, because it's not really baneful, but like everything has like its ups and its downs, I guess. So when it comes to red, you know, it's love, lust, it's passion, it's action, it's also rage, anger, it's also the color of blood. But blood isn't really seen like as a bad thing, although it can, because blood, you know, red is the color of blood, and therefore it is the color, the essence of life and all of that. So we can literally talk about color magic in like so many aspects, and the fact that you can use two colors because by using them together, it adds more energy into what you want. Because if you use just red for this candle spell, for the most part you might just attract, you know, that one particular aspect of that relationship or situation, instead of using 2-3 color. Y'all, it sounds complicated, but that's because it's just, there's more to it. And Candle Magic, literally, to me at least, it encompasses so many things. But okay, candle colors aside. Oh my god, sorry, I got a little too excited. Let me just drink some tea, mama. Like, oh my god. So sigils and candles. So You can draw basically a sigil on your candle by literally just like carving it. So I am taking a class on sculpture. Yes. So essentially, I don't have anything here, but it's whatever. I had to buy like multiple of these thingies so that I can like carve. This is just the one that I grabbed, but I have multiple. Anyways, just to like give you an example. So, actually, whatever. So if you have anything, y'all, this is new to me, and I only bought it because of the class. In the past, I used to literally carve candles with I literally have it here with the matches, or even just like the bobby pin. Y'all got a knife? Y'all can carve it the heck. But basically, when it comes to sigils, I do have a video that goes in detail about sigils. Honestly, I'm thinking about remaking it because it's all over the place. It's too long, and I don't know, it could be better. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is the fact that you can literally just use a sigil from any resource that you have or can find. But I personally recommend that you create one yourself, because basically you know what you want, and also you connect more with the hidden meaning that it basically has. When it comes to the words of power and candles, or like petitions and whatever it may be, when it comes to actually like writing it down, of course you're gonna carve it. I mean, you can technically use ink, paint, or whatever, but like carving it kind of better. You can carve a sentence, a phrase, either vertically, horizontally. You can do it one time and that's it, either way, or you can do it multiple times around the candle, or like, you know, vertically, like either way around. So yeah, you have that option. You can also choose to like use the circle within a circle. That encompasses literally so many things, such as, for example, the ring of salt that protects your working from negative influences, you know, such as anyone who knows about it either because you told them or because they just found out for some weird reason. Your thoughts after the spell has been cast, or even any other negative energy, you know, that may be like either around or just about, you know, the area. You can also use salt with something else that's protective or something entirely different, such as, for example, in the case that you don't have, I was gonna say eggshells, salt, you can actually use either eggshells with cloves. You know, eggshells, think of like the egg, it protects what it's inside. It's I guess white, although you can pretty much use any color, but white, you know, it's like the typical, I guess. So you can basically like crush it up, you know, make a whole ring. You can do literally anything. You can use anything that's protective to pretty much protect the working that you're doing. So you don't really need to use salt or eggshells with cloves. You can either use all of them combined, either or. You can use something else such as black salt. You can use, I don't know, a holy water, literally anything that you can make a circle within the circle. If you cast it a circle, of course. When encircling the candle with herbs, literally anything, any tool that corresponds to your intention, herbs, spices, crystals, you name it, you know, anything that corresponds to that intention, you can place it around the candle to pretty much encircle. I hate being so like redundant, but I just do not have the, I guess, the like, most expanded vocabulary to properly express myself in a way that's not redundant. But anyways, typically you would, you know, encircle the candle in a clockwise motion. If you're in the southern hemisphere, then you would argue that you can do it, you know, counterclockwise. But for the most part, us in the northern and Central America, I guess, we tend to go for, you know, clockwise, because that's the way that we see the sun going in the sky. Y'all, this is like it's not the boring part of Candle Magic, but it's the not so magical fire safety. So let me tell you something. I'll be real with you, because I'm not gonna lie. Do I follow all of them? No. Do I try to? For the most part. So the first thing that you should not do pertaining to candle safety, or sorry, fire safety, that would be, don't leave a candle burning unattended, because you don't know what might happen. When it comes to these bad boys or any other bad boy, y'all, this can freaking shatter, and you don't want it to shatter and like have, I don't know, a piece of flame or something, like just like, you know, oh no, baby. You want to like pay attention just in case. Keep away from your children and pets, because also they'll be really hella curious. Like, you don't want to freaking be, you know, in the kitchen making something, leave the door open for wherever you are doing your ritual, and then have your pet knock the candle down, and then have suddenly the I don't know, the what's it called, the thing, the curtain in flames, and then that cat dead, you hurt, kids burned. Like, you don't want that, you know. So let's try to like be a little conscious about that. Like I said, I don't always follow these, which is bad. Do not do what I do, because sometimes I've been a little crazy sometimes, you know, but like I try to be as safe as possible. Okay. So lighting a candle with okay, so here's the thing. It's not recommended for you to light candles with short matches because of the fact that you can literally burn yourself. These right here, this, not a good idea for these candles at all. Because baby, there's gonna be a point where you literally just can't reach. What are you gonna do? Drop them in? I have done it. It doesn't really work always. Also, let me tell you something. When you're lighting a fire with your cauldron, like, oh, sorry, ooh, a mess. I have like so much thing going on in my head. Like, I'm just so excited. Sorry. I need to calm down. But anyways, when you're lighting like a fire on your cauldron, baby, the fire will go up. You may not burn yourself, but you're gonna be like really, really scared, and you might even burn yourself. So to minimize, also no lighters, like especially no lighters, like you're really in there, you know. Also, I don't think lighters are meant to be used with candles or fire in general. I think it's supposed to just be for like cigarettes and stuff like that. But I digress. Point is, you don't want to burn yourself. Alcohol is very flammable. Keep away from anything that's flammable. So curtains, so like any house decor. Clothing can also be kind of dangerous if you don't have the appropriate clothing for ritual purposes. Honestly, just go the safe way and just go skyclad. So like ritual nudity, just be naked. Honestly, if in any case something were to happen, keep anything nearby that you can put on quickly. You can also tie back your hair, because if you have very long hair, you don't want to burn your hair, you know. When it comes to trimming the wick, it should be done 1/4 of an inch. Basically, you want to cut the candle just enough so that when you light it again, the fire will not be too high, because when you light the candle and the wick is very, very big, and even if it has like the big head, like that focus like area in the tip of the wick that's like really, really big, baby, that flame will like get really big. Now, I do want to mention that I don't necessarily trim the wick before lighting it, but rather after it's been lit in the past and I want to relight it. One thing that I recommend is that when it comes to candles, like for example these ones, you might want to melt the bottom so that you can just like anchor it in the place, and that the probability of it tipping off will lessen. Now, the last thing that I am going to mention, it's something that you should always remember, is that no oxygen means no fire. I do want to mention that there are other things that I did want to add to this video, but the video would be too long, so I'm thinking I'm gonna actually make them into separate videos, such as anointing candles and also dressing them. Also, I didn't even mention the fact that I think Candle Magick also includes candle divination. Like, it's the whole concept of using candles in your practice, y'all, and it's a whole thing. I don't know too much about candle divination, so I didn't really mention it here, but hopefully in the future I'm gonna like give you like an idea of it so that you can kind of like look into it. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I shall see you guys later.